We're supposed to be human beings.
People are not being represented.
What just happened in there was absolutely extraordinary. We were talking to the Corporation of London, who are a totally unelected body. Nobody really knows who they are.
We were invited in as a public meeting. We filled all the chairs made available for us.
Where we were welcomed by the chairman at the beginning of the meeting.
This was repealed and then it was made private and we were asked to leave. And they said it was under specific laws. We asked them which specific laws and they refused to give us the details.
These same people who are not elected by anyone telling the public that their views cannot be represented in a matter where the public's views are extremely important. Why is that?
I'm not speaking for the corporation, so please don't film me. I'm happy to give some information to the press for the purposes of, but please, you know, I'm not going to...
You heard the press of the corporation.
Yeah, but... yeah. Just for information, there will be some...
Greg Williams, head of press.
Greg Williams. Just for information, there will be interviews afterwards. The spokesman will be doing the interviews later. Okay. Is that all right? Thank you.
Thanks, Greg.
Nothing, wasn't it?
This is going to be a long, drawn-out court battle, and the longer this goes on, the more of a spotlight will be put on the undemocratic Corporation of London. If they want to take an adversarial point of view on this, what all is going to happen is the examination of who they are and the point and the role they play in British society and in the life of London will come under an enormous spotlight.
Did it really have to close?
It did. We couldn't operate safely. We simply couldn't operate safely. If you imagine if we got sort of 2,500, 3,000 people in the building, they need to be evacuated to a full and proper area. That's a risk assessment that we have to undertake. The people coming into us mean the world to us, and you know we couldn't put them in jeopardy.
That looked like a press conference here. Television is on
that side.
Platform over there. Just on the...
Oh, there. Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
The only people it's harming now is the cathedral, London Stock Exchange, or have your bunnies. Many of them have been very helpful, but you're only as strong as your weakest link, I'm afraid to say, and there are many weak links.
Hello there. Thank you very much. Welcome. Hello. Thank you.
Peace be with you. Jesus said to his apostles, "You are my friends if you obey my commands."
It's now time for the GA, which is the General Assembly. We hold these around 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock every day. I think we're the example of what it should be. We are united because we can see the problems in society. And one of the biggest problems in society is the invisibility of certain institutions within this city mile. We're now going to look at ratifying a manifesto.
What's happened is, what it seems has happened is a statement from this occupation was leaked out to the Guardian, and the Guardian have they've printed it, and so to sort of get you up to speed on this, I'm going to hand over to George, one of our best and most talented readers, to read you out the statement that I have. It's titled "A Demand for the Democratisation of the City of London Corporation." Standing in the tradition of Clement Attlee, we demand democratisation of the City of London Corporation. Reform of the corporation's political institutions will mean an end to business block votes in all elections, full democratisation of the city's political institutions, abolition of existing secrecy practices within the city, and total and transparent reform of its institutions in order to end corporate tax fraud. Three more, bear with me.
From this temple of skin and bones, of frailty and of weakness, we are called out to be witnesses, to testify, to speak out. In our Gospel reading today, St. John tells his followers that life will not be easy for them. There will be misunderstanding. There will even be hatred. until people see their sinfulness and the sinfulness which pervades the human state, which should then lead to repentance and to change. Today, we rejoice that once again we are able to worship in an open cathedral. It stands at the heart of this city as a sign of God's presence, a presence which has power to save and power to transform.
So, from where I'm standing, it seemed to me that everyone was pretty positive about the statement.
Oh yeah. Any blocks?
Any blocks? This is people who really want to get up and speak their piece about it.
History is full of people who think they've had the answers and tried to impose it on other people, and what they've forgotten is that it's involving people in the process that's the real source of democracy, not what you say at the end. And I've been away for a couple of days and I've just come back and I haven't heard of these before, so I haven't had a chance to properly look at them and think about how they could be improved. I think they're a little bit vague. I think it implies that the city's a bit of a conspiracy, and it doesn't mention the role of capital as a force in society.
How clear are we all on what consensus actually is? Or are we confusing consensus with voting?
I have a massive problem with these being the demands, which regardless of how we couch it here, somebody already released them to the media as the demands. And those demands are very just City of London specific, and as much as we need to take them on, that's not why most of us came here. In fact, if we hadn't had problems with St. Paul's, most of us wouldn't even know about it.
So an end to business block votes in all elections, full democratisation of the city's political institutions. Those who agree. Those who disagree. And any blocks?
There's a lot of people tapping me on each shoulder about every 30 seconds wanting to speak.
This is the first time that we haven't done something and then just gone off to the pub. And I think that it's about talking about it. And we've brought up these ideas, they're good to talk about, but we should not list them as demands. Coming up with demands and coming up with speakers at this particular juncture isn't what we should be doing. And I think it's a very, very flawed strategy. So we should vote against them. We should vote against it.
Today, because it has been leaked to the press, hundreds of thousands of people have been shown there is no democracy in the city. This is why we are here. I ask for you to ratify this so we can get it out there. We can bring it back to you, we can consult on it, we can add to this list. But it's important, I think, for us to be seen as to be doing something other than creating a narrative of us versus the church.
Oh. Okay, I'm not. It looked pretty much even down the middle to me, and I don't think that's a consensus as far as I understand it. We're going to have to discuss this and bring it up at the General Assembly at 7, because there simply is not a way to reach a consensus that is in line with the process that we all agreed on here and now.